Nanlong Hou's advance looked simple, yet every step carried refined force, the kind that turns an opponent's defense into a slow, cracking cage. Hey friends, welcome back to 3D Cartoon Review, where treasure light can blind reason, and one wrong step can turn a win into a grave. Quick question for you. If you were Han Li, would you gamble on killing Wang Chan right now, or escape first and survive longer? Today we enter the Immortal Ascension, episode 176, as Nascent Soul old monsters clash, the Yuchi Pavilion explodes, and a temporary truce is born under pressure. At the end of last episode, Han Li unfolded his Fenglei Qi, and his figure vanished in a flash of lightning that mocked every watching expert. The Nascent Soul elders burned with anger, yet none dared chase recklessly, because one careless pursuit among monsters becomes a funeral without a body. But inside the crackling afterglow, Han Li reappeared in a shadowed corner, breath steady, eyes cold, like a hunter returning to a prepared killing ground. A ghostly smile lifted his lips as he stared toward Wang Tiangu's group, then he raised one finger and calmly pointed at the hovering Black Mountain treasure. The small Black Mountain trembled, shrank, and vanished from its spot, then appeared above their heads in the next heartbeat, descending with merciless weight. Black pressure flooded the air, and the mountain's shadow swallowed faces, making even Nascent Soul experts feel their hearts sink for a breath. Treasure shields flashed upward like desperate umbrellas, and the ground cracked where the mountain's aura brushed past, as if stone feared being crushed next. Elder Yun and Wang Tiangu were caught off guard, fury flashing, because Han Li dared strike again, while everyone believed he had already fled the battlefield. Yet the mountain's aura was terrifying, and even Elder Yun did not dare block it alone, since a single mistake would expose weakness to every surrounding enemy. With clenched teeth, the group flickered away to dodge, while treasure lights shot upward to restrain the falling mountain, slowing it just enough to survive. That forced dodge opened a gap, and Nanlong Hou's eyes ignited, because he had waited for exactly one breath where the other's attention slipped away. In a blaze of gold, Nanlong Hou transformed into a dazzling streak and charged straight toward Tai Furen on the opposite side, killing intent sharp and direct. Tai Furen's face changed instantly, and an earth-yellow glow flashed before her chest, forming a small ochre shield that snapped into place defensively. Gold radiance and earth-yellow light collided, the impact ringing like a bell inside a storm, and shockwaves pushed dust across broken tiles in rolling circles. Tai Furen's shield hummed, trembling under the golden charge, and her sleeves snapped in the wind, but her eyes stayed sharp and vicious. Nanlong Hou's advance looked simple, yet every step carried refined force, the kind that turns an opponent's defense into a slow, cracking cage. Nanlong Hou's golden aura surged thicker, denser, as if molten metal layered into armor, and he clearly intended to break through in one unstoppable breath. The others reacted at once, driving their own magic treasures forward to block him, but Nanlong Hou refused disadvantage, his momentum staying terrifyingly stable. No one knew what secret art he used, yet the gold around him kept deepening, and he produced a powerful ancient treasure, fighting multiple enemies without falling back. Wang Tiangu's side grew more alarmed, striking harder, and in that frantic exchange, their eyes finally left Han Li, exactly as Han Li had planned. From the shadows, Han Li watched with quiet satisfaction, like a man counting seconds, then he flicked a finger again toward the Black Mountain above them. With a howl, the mountain shrank to an inch, shot into his sleeve, and vanished, leaving only cold pressure behind. From afar, Wang Tiangu barked orders through clenched teeth, trying to keep formation, but chaos already split their attention into shards. Han Li's hands stayed steady, because he didn't need glory. He needed one clean opening, one moment where his enemy couldn't look both ways. Han Li's gaze slid toward the purple blood mist churning nearby, and a thin cruelty appeared in his eyes, because inside that fog, a future threat still breathed. Blue light flickered in his pupils, piercing the haze to read the situation within, and he decided not to allow any enemy to crawl away and return later. He lifted his hand, black light swelling along his arm, and a crescent of black-red blade light burst outward, ripping straight into the purple blood mist. It was Yin Mo Zhan Yin Demon Slash, and it cleaved the fog like wet paper, carrying a brutality so clean it felt colder than steel. A miserable scream erupted from inside the mist, sharp enough to raise goosebumps, like a soul being torn apart while still clinging to life. Lightning arcs danced around Han Li's body, and he vanished at once, leaving only crackling air and the echo of that scream behind him. Under that single Yin Mo Zhan strike, even if Wang Chan did not die on the spot, he was certainly crippled, reduced to only his upper body. Within the purple mist, blood sprayed like ink in water, and the surviving aura twisted, weak and hateful, promising revenge if it ever recovered. Han Li's expression never softened, because in his world, mercy is a luxury, and such luxuries are paid with graves. Han Li wanted to erase him completely, body and spirit together, but he knew Wang Tiangu would not watch calmly once he realized what had happened. If Han Li forced a direct fight with Wang Tiangu now, the danger would multiply, and survival would become a gamble even his caution disliked. After all, Wang Chan was only late core formation, and Han Li could kill him any time later, so risking a Nascent Soul clash here felt unnecessary. So Han Li did not even glance back to confirm the result. He chose survival over pride, and used Lei Dunshu Thunder Escape to withdraw instantly. His figure reappeared near the first floor exit, then turned into a green-red streak that shot toward the Great Hall entrance, fast enough to blur vision. Halfway across the hall, a white beam suddenly shot out from a corner and slipped into Han Li's sleeve, like a fish returning to its hidden stream. Inside his sleeve, Yin Yue surfaced, mouth already opening, face bright with excitement, and she began, "Master, before Han Li cut her off. "Don't say anything now," Han Li said, voice low and firm. "Escape danger first for now when we're safe, then we'll talk." He flew straight out of the great door, expression gloomy, because he could feel the battlefield behind him tightening like a net pulled by invisible hands. This was not luck. It was Han Li's plan from the beginning, prepared with the calm cruelty of a veteran who trusts only his own arrangements. When breaking the Tai Miao Shenjin Tai Miao divine restriction, he deliberately released blinding spiritual light, fully disturbing everyone's spiritual sense at once. In that confusion, he secretly opened a tiny gap in the restriction and sent Yin Yue inside, unseen, untouched, harvesting before anyone understood. Only after that did he slowly solve the restriction in public, dragging time, pretending difficulty, selling the illusion that everyone had a fair chance. Han Li never cared about priority selection rights. He cared about control, safety, and an advantage nobody could bargain away once the killing began. Now, seeing Yin Yue's excitement, he knew she had gained plenty inside the pavilion, and that hidden gain was why he refused alliances so decisively. The instant Han Li burst through the door, a heaven-shaking explosion detonated behind him, and the sound slammed into his back like a fist. His heart jumped, he spun around, eyes narrowing, and saw the Yuchi Pavilion behind him had erupted, stone and wood blasting outward in violent waves. Debris rained like broken teeth from a giant's mouth, and dust rolled across the ground in choking clouds that swallowed the edges of the scene. The blast rolled through corridors like a giant drumbeat, and fragments of jade-like stone spun past Han Li, cutting the air with sharp whistles. Even from this distance, the golden ring's light felt hot, and Han Li could sense Nanlong Hou burning lifespan or essence to stay alive. Within the ruins, a brilliant golden ring appeared, as bright as a small sun, about a zhang across, with a human silhouette flickering at its center. From that shape and aura, it was Nanlong Hou, and it seemed he had unleashed a terrifying secret art just to force an escape from certain death. Han Li felt a chill climb his spine, because Yuchi Pavilion was no ordinary building, or he would have punched through walls long ago. Yet Nanlong Hou destroyed it with a desperate move, proving that when nascent soul monsters gamble their lives, common sense becomes rubble. Han Li did not pause to admire destruction. He dodged into the Great Hall, searching for any opening that could lead outside the sealed space. Ahead, the stone wall remained closed, smooth and absolute. A dead end meant to trap weaker cultivators, like rats sealed inside a jar. Han Li flicked his sleeve and fired a green blade light several feet long into the stone wall. With a dull poo, it pierced and opened a large hole, but a white flash appeared immediately, and the hole vanished as if it never existed, the restriction repairing itself with indifferent speed. Han Li lifted an eyebrow and started to think of another method, when his expression changed sharply, sensing danger approaching without footsteps. He turned around in an instant, movement ghost-like, and saw Nanlong Hou standing several zhang away, silent, as if he had been there all along. Nanlong Hou's whole body still blazed with golden light, but his face was ash white, his aura weak, like a candle burning its last oil. Han Li did not relax. He looked past Nanlong Hou, reading the battlefield behind him like a book written in lightning, dust, and desperation. Above the ruined pavilion, a gigantic golden bowl hovered in the air, pressing down on a dim, shimmering cage of light, like a lid sealing a beast. Inside that cage, black radiance and white chi smashed together repeatedly, and faint thunder booms rumbled, like trapped storms punching walls. The golden bowl's rim flickered with ancient runes, and the cage below pulsed unevenly, like a heart struggling against restraints it hated. Han Li could hear faint curses and thunderous impacts inside, proof that Elder Yun and Wang Tiangu were not panicking, they were calculating their breakout. Han Li showed real surprise, because Nanlong Hou had somehow temporarily trapped Elder Yun and Wang Tiangu, buying time at an outrageous price. He did not ask how. Questions do not keep you alive, and Han Li could already hear the cage weakening, like cracks spreading across invisible glass. Nanlong Hou's breathing was unsteady, yet his eyes stayed sharp, and in them Han Li saw desperation mixed with opportunity, a dangerous combination. They were enemies, but both understood the same truth. Stall one moment too long, and the trapped old monsters would break free and tear them apart. So at the exit, Han Li and Nanlong Hou decided on a temporary ceasefire, not friendship, only survival, written in the language of urgent seconds. Han Li produced a formation plate, while Nanlong Hou raised a command flag, their methods different, yet their goal identical: open a way out immediately. Together they struck at the crystal wall of the Tai Miao divine restriction, carving at it with treasure light, runes, and forceful pulses of power. The crystal wall shimmered, resisting like a living thing, and Han Li's eyes narrowed, because every breath wasted here fed the monsters behind them. Outside, the golden bowl trembled, and the cage's light dimmed a fraction, warning that Elder Yun and Wang Tiangu were already pushing toward freedom. Han Li's mind stayed razor calm. He measured angles, energy flow, and timing, preparing to abandon the truce the instant it stopped being useful. Nanlong Hou's fingers tightened around his flag, and for a heartbeat, both men worked like allies, even as both planned betrayal if needed. Somewhere behind the crystal wall, the outside world waited like oxygen, and Han Li could almost taste freedom, sharp and cold on his tongue. Yet behind them, the thunder inside the cage grew louder, a reminder that the truce was borrowed time, and borrowed time always demands interest. That is where episode 176 ends. Han Li cripples Wang Chan with Yin Mo Zhan, escapes with Yin Yue's harvest, and meets Nanlong Hou at the exit. So tell me, would you trust Nanlong Hou for even one breath? Or would you already be planning an escape that leaves him behind as bait? Also, do you think the trapped elders will break free first? Or will Han Li and Nanlong Hou crack the crystal wall in time? Drop your theory in the comments, and if you enjoyed this chapter, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join the next escape race. Thanks for watching 3D Cartoon Review. See you next time, where every treasure has a price, and every second can decide who walks out alive.